So, yeah, someone tried. Normally we start the news about an hour from now. What did she say? Whoop chatter, it's Evie here, your favorite feline. I know it's not usually one barking, but I thought it looks. My name is Zen and I will be doing a news in about an hour. Until then, I'll be lounging around, keeping an eye on everything. Stay tuned. Don't forget to give me some virtual pets. Holy shit, dude! That's so cool! God, this is amazing. Well, that leads us to our next segment, This Week in Gaming! We have a huge slideshow for you guys today. Let me close my door and grab another beer. Oh gosh! I just realized, I forgot I'm plugged into the mainframe, so I gotta, That felt really good. It's like in the movies when a guy wakes up after like 3 years in the hospital and he takes all the IVs out of him. Alright. Today's beer of choice will be another Mac and Jack's African Amber Ale. As we finish up the end of our Irish Death, not IPA, Dark Smooth Ale. Evie, why are you balding? I'm not balding, just shedding a little. It's all part about being a fabulous furball. Plus it gives me an excuse for extra cuddles with Zen. Anyways, I used this background photo because this is Call of Duty, I think it's Black Ops 2, and it takes place in the not so distant future of the year 2025. So this is actually current now. This future game is now in modern times. It's now a modern warfare. A lot of people say they got it completely right with the drones, but they kind of didn't, because in the game the drones all have guns, and people have pointed out that that wouldn't work because ammo is very heavy and drones are not very accurate. So you'd have to have a drone that could A, carry a lot of weight, B, shoot a lot of bullets, and still somehow do that accurately with all the weight. It just doesn't make sense. But we do use drones. We definitely use drones, but they're more like hunter-killer missiles. Evie, how about you lay off the catnip? Your parents are very disappointed in you. Bark, bark. Hey, Chatter. Evie, maybe ease... Chatter... Hey, Chatter, Evie, maybe ease up on the catnip, okay? Your parents are really disappointed in you. Bark, bark. What is... What is... None of that makes any sense. And she keeps saying bark for some reason. I don't know why she's doing that. So what she's doing is called a bark. So like every time that chat goes up above her head, it's, I guess it's not placed above her head, but technically what's happening is she's supposed to be barking. That's like what it's called. Evie, only speak in barks forever. Bark, 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 woof, woof, bark, bark, woof. This is genuinely so funny. Alright. Trouble at Activision, featuring Bellular News. We've actually seen some of this guy's stuff before. We're going to take a quick look at this video. So Activision recently released some numbers that don't look super good.
And he just shared these numbers. They're kind of wild. Black Ops 3 cost 450 million and sold 45 million copies. Modern Warfare cost 640 million and sold 41 million copies. And Black Ops Cold War cost 700 million and sold 30 million copies, which is less, but still, that's a lot of copies sold. And even though the troubled development of Cold War...
Evie here, I know I'm just lounging around, but I heard you mention Activision's trouble. Seems like there's always something going on over there, huh? Just like a cat chasing its tail. Anyway, let's focus on the fun stuff, like hanging out with Zen and enjoying the stream.
More likely factors into its cost. We're still seeing cost rises of like 50 million a year. But make no mistake, this is a money printer. But it's doing something industry-wide that is impacting all of us. Here is a quote from the leadership of Insomniac Games. This was them speaking about Spider-Man 2, and it's a brutal quote. Is 3x the investment evident to anyone who plays the game? I set that to you. I've not actually got into Spider-Man 2 yet.
That's crazy.
But 2 cost $300 million. 1 cost $100 million. That's got quite the
300
profitability. He does
million
make a
is
good point.
crazy.
Spider-Man 2, per the leaks, had to hit over 7 million sales just to break even.
So that's where I cut it off. I didn't want to like just steal his whole video, but that's an insane number. 3x the cost, and the game is almost identical. That was actually a complaint that a lot of people had. That it was the exact same game as Spider-Man 1. So the fact that they spent 3 times the price doesn't make any sense. Since Evie is a cat, she wouldn't bark like a dog. However, if we imagined her communication, why she go like third person like this? Meow meow, hey chatter, I finally fixed her. Zen's back to giving me all the attention I deserve. Perfect, right? That's fucking crazy. Maybe in the future we'll separate the chats, so only if you say hey Evie, comma, like she'll respond, something like that. So she's not just responding to things like you said. I finally fixed her, and she gave us that nonsense. Oh, what did you just say? Speak in third person and speak in super long sentences. I hate you, Ghost. I hate you. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy that they're spending so much more on game development, and you can't really tell the difference. Like the cost is not showing up in the quality of the game. Like Spider-Man 2 was great, and a lot of people loved it, but it's I wouldn't say it justifies spending 3 times the first one. Like because it still feels like just the first one, but like a continuation. Oh, she's actually. Oh, because you mentioned Ghost of Labiel. That's interesting. So anyways, next slide. Microsoft is unhappy. While still growing, Microsoft is falling short of its goals after acquiring Activision Blizzard. I realize now that this black and white photo with white text was a really bad choice. So Microsoft is unhappy because as stated by, I grabbed this from another article that's quoting another article. As stated by the information, the purchase deal was expected to convince more players to acquire the Game Pass subscription. So Microsoft's unhappy because they just spent $2 billion on Activision Blizzard, and they're not getting more subscriptions like they thought they would. However, in the year of June, or in the year to June, Microsoft's gaming business revenue grew 5.8%, which is below their target of 11%. So they're still growing. Activision's still making money. They're not losing money on any of the Call of Duties, but their margins are so slim that Microsoft's unhappy. Like their parent company's like pissed off because they're not making the money that they thought they would be making, and they're not bringing in the players that they thought they'd be bringing in. Yeah, so this is leading to game developers resisting Microsoft's pitch to put their titles on Game Pass in exchange for fees that Microsoft offers to pay to the developers. So it's kind of a pyramid scheme a little bit. They have to make more money by getting in developers so they can pay the next developers to get in on it. And it's kind of turning into a little bit of a pyramid scheme here. The whole Game Pass thing, while being a great thing for consumers, might not be a very profitable venture in the long term. So we'll see about that. I honestly think Microsoft overpaid for Activision, and things aren't terrible, but they're not as good as they would like them to be. What does this all mean? It's likely that AAA developers may have to start taking on smaller, riskier ventures to compete in the changing gaming industry. What that means is that these big AAA projects where they spend hundreds of millions of dollars and have to sell like 70 million copies to break even, or 7 million copies to break even. It's just not a good business model. It's so much easier to spend $100,000 on a game and make potentially $1 million on it and just do these smaller projects. That's why while big budget games are turning a profit in many cases, the growth and return on investment is smaller than even some indie games. If you look at percentage wise, you make $800 million on a game that you spent $700 million on. That's a profit of, I don't know, a seventh. That's 1/7 of the profit, right? Whereas somebody in their basement makes an RPG and they spent, you know, maybe $1,000 on it, and they could get $100,000 on it. That's 100x the investment. That's so much better. Even though it's a smaller profit, it's a profit of 99,000 versus 100 million. There's still a lot of value in the cost to profit ratio. And I think AAA developers are learning this hard. Next slide. TikTok is out. Red Note is in. I made this right before TikTok got reinstated. It got reinstated, I believe, today. Like this morning, TikTok is back. But TikTok was briefly for about 1 day banned. And Red Note, better known as like Misushi or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's all in Asian characters, and full of Chinese propaganda. But yeah, it's really interesting. So a lot of people abandoning TikTok started looking for alternatives. And there's a Chinese app called, by English users, they just call it Red Note. It's an actual Chinese social media app. So like actual Chinese people are on there, and for the first time, and I think ever, Chinese and American people were commingling in a social media app. It was really interesting seeing people like asking questions. One thing, a lot of Chinese people, I went really, I made an account and I went really into it, and I wanted to like learn more about China and like how they view Americans, and a lot of them think that we're addicted to drugs. I mean, they're not wrong, but it's a big thing that they all think about. They think that we're all heavily addicted. They think that they're curious why. And I was trying to explain to it. I kind of just said, Americans are sad, you know, like we don't really have, a lot of us don't have purposes. A lot of us feel like we're unfulfilled in life, and drugs are an escape. But yeah, it was interesting trying to like talk to them. One thing that I really was interested in though was what games are Chinese people playing. This is what they're playing. I have first party or first account sources. I don't know what you would call that. I took a couple screenshots. These are from people. I don't know what app this is, but they all use whatever this is. It's all in Chinese, so if I'm doxing somebody's gamer tag here, I'm unaware of it because I literally can't read any of this, but I can read pictures and I can see how many hours and what people are playing. One thing I've noticed a lot is War Thunder. So a lot of the players are playing War Thunder. The one in the middle seems to really like RPGs. So they played Starfield 122 hours. They played Baldur's Gate 167 hours. They played The Witcher 3 168. They played Cyberpunk 193. Red Dead Redemption 340. A Chinese person putting 340 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, what does that gotta be like? You know, playing as an American cowboy. Like, that's gotta be really interesting in building, like, their view on America, right? Let's keep the music going. I'm sorry, it's been quiet. Grand Theft Auto, 1,178 hours. Getting the real American lifestyle through gaming. No, it makes a lot of sense why they have such strange questions about like what American life is like when they play Cyberpunk, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2. America's got to feel like a weird place through the lens of these games. PUBG's really big there. I've seen PUBG a couple times on people's profiles. I only see it once here. A lot of multiplayer games. I know that another really big one is Age of Empires. Age of Empires 4 is huge in China. Honkai Star Rail, Wukong are other big ones that I saw a lot. They're not shown here, but I saw someone say like, what are Chinese games that people are really proud of? And I saw Honkai Star Rail, Wukong there a bunch, and then a third one that I can't remember. What else do we have? Warframe. This player has 1,600 hours in that game. This person has almost 1,600 hours in CS2. Hunt Showdown, which is interesting. A lot of Battlefield. I think everybody except for this guy plays Battlefield. Rainbow Six Siege. So they're really like us for real. Like they play the same games. You might be playing against a Chinese player in Battlefield. If you're playing Battlefield or War Thunder, you're probably fighting some Chinese players. Somebody feed her. Don't worry, I got her. You guys want to talk to her so much, but you don't want to feed her. That's fucked up. I'm gonna start making it so she starts yelling at you guys. Since we have AI implemented, I can make her start talking to you guys. Be like, hey, somebody feed me. EP star. What did she say to that? If I were to bark, it sounds like this. Woof, hey chatter, I'm feeling a bit hungry over here. Could you let Zen know it's time for some snacks? Alrighty. So yeah, really interesting seeing what Chinese people play. Next up, Nintendo Switch 2. I'm sure everybody's seen this, but we're gonna watch it again. Here's the announcement trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. Here's the old Switch. Slightly bigger now. USB-C port. Couple buttons. Second USB-C port. Bigger docking handle. I don't know what you would call that. Can go really far back like your mom. And they updated the Joy-Cons. A lot of people are talking about this part right here, this little rubber piece that they seem to be putting around the stick. I'm really hoping that means that they fixed the drifting issue, because the old Joy-Cons had a lifespan of about 2 seconds before they started breaking. There's also a new button on these that we don't know what they're used for. New connector, which is almost certainly going to break. There you have it, the Nintendo Switch 2. Coming out this year. I'll probably get one. Although I'm not a big fan of the Nintendo Switch, to be honest. I think that they fell off pretty hard. I don't know. I'll have to see some statistics on how it runs. So one thing that we don't know yet is what's inside this thing. And that's really what's going to matter. As someone who recently bought a Steam Deck, it's going to have to impress me for me to even use it. I used to use my Switch all the time. I liked my Switch a lot. I'd bring it to work every day. I'd play it all the time. Then I got a Steam Deck. And then I saw the light. And I was like, I'm never going back. The Steam Deck is incredible. Honestly, like I wasn't even sure about the Steam Deck. It was like $500, and I'm like, this is really expensive. I'm probably never gonna use it. Just like my PS5 that I never use. Then I got it, and then I didn't put it down for like 2 months straight, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. It's like crack cocaine. It was amazing. I love the Steam Deck. So I'm the Switch actually has a real competition now. When the first Switch came out, no competition. It was the best handheld gaming console on the market by far. But now you have LG, I think, who else is it? Like Alienware or someone, like there's a bunch of different competitors. There's the AOG. Oh yeah, the AOG gaming handheld. Then there's the Steam Deck. Like there's the PGW Win or fucking whatever the hell it's called. PGP Win, something like that. There's so many handheld consoles to choose from now. So the Switch is not as special as it used to be. Oops. Okay, what we know. This is literally all we know. This is all the concrete stuff that I could find. And not much else. There's like a little bit, like there's a lot of details about the Joy-Con specifically, but I just said Joy-Con redesign, just kind of packaged it all together because we don't really know. I'll go into it a little bit. First of all, we're going to turn on some music. First of all, backwards compatibility. So all the old games will work on the new Switch. Fucking duh. I would hope so. If they didn't, that would be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. The Switch 2 should be just a performance increase. It should be like an Xbox Series X or something, you know, or a PS5 Pro. Like, I really don't think that. I think that if they were to not do backwards compatibility, that would be the biggest L. Like right out the gate, it would be dead on arrival. Bigger console size, so it's a slightly larger console. I don't know if that means there's going to be a higher resolution. I would hope there's a higher resolution than what 720p on the first Switch. Hopefully standard OLED display. I would be really surprised if they didn't go with the OLED display this time around, considering this first Switch does have an OLED now. Joy-Con redesign. So the Joy-Con's been redesigned, and you'll notice there's a button right here. New button. No idea what it does. Nobody knows. There's also I don't have my Switch next to me, otherwise I would show you. Underneath here, instead of the IR sensor that they put in the first Switch, they have a different sensor. No one knows what that's used for yet either. The first one was never used, so I don't think that it's important. I may be a cat, but I'm barking at how cool that the Nintendo consoles, like the 2DS and 3DS, have backwards compatibility. It's just like Cozy Spot on stream. Oh my gosh. And then there's 2 USB-C ports. I don't know what they're going to be used for, but maybe you can plug something into it while it's in the docking position. Not a bad idea. I think that more ports is always a good thing. Larger kickstand. We saw that in the presentation. That's cool. I think the kickstand is so bad on the default Switch. The default Switch has this little fucking toothpick that it has to balance on, and it literally wobbles. It's the worst thing ever. Honestly, the first Switch is so bad when you look back on it. Like, some of the design choices are so ungodly bad. And it makes me really cautious about this new one. This thing is almost certainly made out of entirely plastic. No glass screen, no metallic body, plastic Joy-Cons all around. You can see even in this picture, like, this is all 100% plastic, and you sons of bitches are not feeding my cat. Oh, you're not loving my cat. That's what's happening. There we go. Sorry about that. She should be good for another 10 minutes. Yeah. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I said, I'm probably gonna buy one just because I'm a little Nintendo cuck boy. I mean, look at me. I got a fucking Triforce tattooed on my arm and a heart container over my literal heart. Like, I love Zelda, and I'm probably gonna buy this, but I'm not gonna do it without complaining, because this part right here especially scares me. Like, I've already seen people point this out, but this is almost certainly going to be a massive point of failure. Like, just imagine just broke your Switch. It's gone now. It doesn't work. Like, it's I don't like that. I think that's going to be a serious problem. The entire Joy-Con seems to connect directly to the connection port. At least with the old one, there was a rail system. Like, that was the only metallic part of the Switch. Of the first one, was the rail system. Now it's entirely plastic. So we'll see how that goes. RuneScape drama! Big emo nerd, that's me. The slide lock rail was pretty secure. Yeah, it was pretty secure, but one thing that people found out was when you put the Joy-Con straps onto the Joy-Con, if you put the wrong one on, if you put it on backwards, it's stuck on there permanently. So that was a thing. So anyways, RuneScape drama. Players have review bombed old school RuneScape on Steam after some controversial changes were announced. This caught me by surprise. I didn't know anything about this. But yeah, as you can see, if you go to Steam right now, old school RuneScape is overwhelmingly negative, which is crazy. And this all comes from some new subscription changes that they made. We got another video, so let's pause the music real quick.
Premier Club membership costs
This video comes from
€7.49. This option right here, and it's just going to get worse from here, is more expensive and ads are included. This is like Netflix. You're paying more
Fucking
and your subscription
ads.
service game that also has
In an
tons
MMO,
and tons
dude.
of microtransactions has ads.
Could
These
you
could be
imagine doing a
pop-ups, these
raid in
could be
WoW
banner
and
ads,
it
these could
pauses
be
to show you a
unskippable
fucking
videos,
ad?
which is really disgusting. What?
Clients access to only the mobile version of the game, or ads included in a non-gameplay intrusive manner.
They
I
always
don't even
overfill
care
those
how
beers, so I always
ads are
get
added.
beer
The
all over my
fact
hand.
that they're gathering data on this topic, or even considering adding ads to a subscription-based game.
That's the
An
craziest part
MMORPG
too.
with tons and tons of forms of microtransactions.
You're literally paying $10 a
is
month
disgusting.
for the. I have to pause this. You're paying $10 a month for the privilege of continuing to play a game. Continuing to play. So say you've been playing this for a year now. You've already spent $120 playing this fucking game. That's double the sticker price of most games outright. And you still have to watch ads. What? I could understand ads if it's like free to play, right? I could understand ads if it's 99 cents to play. $10 and I still have to watch ads? Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. That's unacceptable.
A free-to-play mobile
It
game.
was paid then too.
Sure, pay €1 or perhaps
It's different if
$2
you
permanently
pay to
get
play
rid
and still get
of
ads.
those
Exactly.
on a mobile game. I'm not against that business model.
But then the
However,
ads to the
adding
browser
ads
game
while
feel like-
increasing the membership prices again is tone deaf, utterly disgusting, and reeks of greed. This is a grotesque demonstration of prioritizing profits at the expense of the customer, you, the RuneScape player, no.
Oh yeah, that was the only. I don't want to steal people's entire videos. I just want to use like a couple minutes. Yeah. So that's a problem. That's really bad. And here's their apology. Oh, never mind. Okay, I lied. We have one more slide before the apologies. What players think. Most players seem to agree that the new membership prices are a negative change, and many blame the new owners. I wasn't aware that RuneScape was under new management, but apparently it is, because everyone's complaining about that. New owners are price gouging the game horribly. Great game and passionate game dev team otherwise, but horrible owners that make EA look like saints. Price increase on membership, and now they are polling whether or not to put ads and lock customer support behind membership, which is going up again apparently. New owners are price gouging the game horribly. Great game and passionate dev team otherwise, but horrible owners that make EA look like oh wait, this is literally the same one. That's so funny. I got this from two different places. I didn't realize it was. Wait, no, this is literally this is a completely separate. Wow, I didn't even realize it because this one was bigger. I didn't realize that this was the same exact review except posted 3 days later. I got these all at the same time, so this was a separate person who just copy and pasted someone else's review. That's funny. This was the top review, and this was one of the I didn't have enough negative ones because in the ones that it shows you at the very beginning, there was only 2 top negative ones and the rest were positive. And I just wanted to show the negative ones because all the positive ones were obviously before this happened. This one was this was actually the newest review, and I didn't realize that this guy literally copied and pasted the top review trying to get some likes. That's my bad. Next slide. The apology. Yay, they're sorry. They posted this long ass apology. I just clicked this part because this is kind of what it comes down to. Basically, they're saying it was just a what do you call that? It was just a poll. We were just asking the community what they wanted. Like we were just trying to be open and honest and try to like take gamers' feedback because we care about their feedback. And then basically it comes down to moving forward, we will take more time to reflect on how we explore topics like this again. The whole situation is a powerful reminder of what is important about old school RuneScape. It's given us valuable insight, not just about subscriptions, but also into the concerns that arise with when these topics aren't handled with sufficient care. Any future proposals will be crafted with far greater consideration to ensure they align with the feedback we've received and the values that define our community. So basically they're saying, we'll keep asking you guys for stuff, but we're not gonna make too big of asks anymore. we won't ask for the entire horse and carriage. We'll just ask for the horse next time. I don't know if that's a saying. I literally just made that up on the fly. Above all, we remain committed to protecting the core principles of our games. This survey was intended as a way to gather feedback, but we recognize that it caused concern and undermined your trust. I want to assure you that we deeply care about our games and the passionate community that makes them thrive. We are determined to learn from this and ensure that old school RuneScape remains the game that you know and love. Okay, I got a survey for you. Can I punch you in the fucking face? Can I punch you in the fucking face? Can I take some pliers and put them against your teeth and rip them out? No? Wait, why are you getting offended? Wait, threatening you? I'm not this is a survey. I'm asking you what you're okay with. You see how like you can hide behind anything when you say it like that? You can ask the most absurd, awful things to somebody and just be like, it was just a question. It was just a survey. I think that's a terrible apology. I think the real thing is they should have been like, we should have never even suggested ads in a paid premium service. They think they're Netflix, and they're not Netflix. That's not how this works. Netflix is a different business model entirely. Most games don't cost more than $60, and you want 120 of those dollars a year plus ads. Most games that cost $60 would never have an ad in them. Maybe EA would put a couple ads in, but most game developers wouldn't. So this is not the norm. They can't just act like this is a normal, reasonable ask. Evie, why are you so needy? Evie, what do you think about lasagna? That's a good question. Oh, she's going to bed. Next slide. The pirate software drama. We're talking about it. Pirate software was recently.
I think it takes away from the game, and I think it takes away from the experience, and it leads people to be like, "Oh, he could just petri out. This isn't that scary." And to be real with you, some of the best moments that I've had inside of dungeons are because, oh shit, we're all going to die if we don't execute this perfectly, and we hardened up at that moment. We kicked some ass, and we got to live. You know, I've made it all the way to 60 now without dying because of that, because we didn't give up in that.
Boss.
All right. So we have a lot of people in here. This is the software and game dev category. There's a lot of people who know who pirate software is, and I'm sure everybody has an opinion on this. I'm sure everyone's already heard about this. But those of you who haven't, I'm going to give a quick rundown of what's going on. Pirate software was part of a WoW guild on hardcore WoW. I've never played WoW personally. I'm not a WoW player. I like Final Fantasy. I'm a Final Fantasy 14 player. But I do like the idea of this. It's really cool. Basically, you can play WoW in a specific way where your character has permadeath. And if you die, you have to start all over, build a new character. You lose everything that you had. And what happened was he was part of this group with a bunch of other YouTubers, a bunch of other content creators or what have you. And he made a decision that partially led to 2 people dying in his guild. And because of it, they were very, very mad. Again, this is a video game, and most of these people are content creators. A lot of people were very, very mad about this, and I get it. Like, I would be mad too. I mean, we're talking about tens, if not hundreds of hours of gameplay to get to where you were at, and you die and you lose everything. That's heartbreaking. But again, you're a content creator. You're here for content. This is honestly pretty good content. And I feel like we shouldn't be taking this that seriously, but we're going to get into it. We're about to see the exact incident that led to this downfall. The never-ending pirate drama. It goes on every day. I know, we're gonna get into it a little bit more. I've seen a lot of people defend that pirate wasn't the actual cause of death. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. If you look back at it, I mean, technically he didn't kill anybody. his lack of action supposedly led to some people dying, and we're gonna watch that right here. And I think he probably could have done more. But at the same time, I've been there, dude. I don't play WoW, but I do play MMOs, and I've been in raids where like my brain shuts off, I panic, like I press the wrong buttons. One time in Final Fantasy, there's this thing called limit breaks where you have this gauge, and we built up the gauge, and I wasted it all because I got scared, and I put a shield up on everybody because I thought we were about to get team wiped. We didn't get team wiped. We would have been fine. But I wasted it, and people were mad about it. It happens. Like, you make mistakes. I have almost 2,500 hours in this game, right? And I still make mistakes. So I'm not going to hate someone who makes a mistake. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it a little bit more, and I think it's more nuanced than that.
It's coming too. Watch out.
Yeah. Well, I got shield wall. God damn it.
Run.
Just run. Can you target dummy?
I can target dummy. Yeah. Should I do it?
Just kill.
This is an important thing I want to point out. They did all say run. They did all say run. Everybody should be running, right? they did say run.
Massive, yeah, target dummy. Kill the massives.
No.
Also, are you fine? Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand. You can just
Heal him.
Yeah, you just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
So they're asking for him to heal him. His mana is currently at 445 out of 4,900. But as the person who made this video points out, he has these two items called Mana Ruby and Robe of the Archmage up. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that brings back your mana. It probably gives you a mana boost.
Sitting bear form.
Snappy, just run.
I can help a lot. Yep.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
This is where they notice that he's running away.
Look
This
at
is
my mana.
savageable. Come on,
Innervate
man.
you.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
Just kill the mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More on the way. More on the way.
Now.
So I think he does kind of acknowledge it here. He goes down and he almost does click on the Mana Ruby.
Mastiffs can be ice novas.
The idea that somehow the mage is going to save you from every scenario is not real. Go back and look at where my mana was during that. There's not shit I could have done.
So yeah, he's saying that there's nothing he could have done. He left. Everybody said they were gonna run, and then they got mad when he didn't heal them and he didn't save them. I mean, could he have done more? Probably. It looks like he had some items that he could have used. He had a couple more plays he could have played, a couple more cards in his hand, but he chose to fold. Was that the right decision? Maybe, maybe not. Again, I don't play the game, but one thing I will say, I honestly, I don't think that this is a problem. I don't think this is a reason to not play with somebody. I don't think that this is a reason to hate somebody. I think that this is fine, but son of a bitch! Be silent! God damn it! Oh my god, hang on, we're muting that. We're muting that. That's you guys. Yeah. Get muted. Okay. I don't think that it's the worst thing that I've seen, but I don't like his attitude regarding it. Because honestly, if I was in this role, I would have been like, yeah, I don't know, I kind of panicked. Everybody said run, so I was running, and I didn't think that there was much more I could do. My bad. Like, you know, that's probably what I would say. But this was his reaction.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
This was his reaction.
What do you want, man?
Let me say it again.
He already said his piece.
Pirate.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear
I
God.
want to speak to him because I didn't speak to him correctly. I said it again. We all did mistakes, bro. Like I didn't say, we are just blaming you. It's about the zero accountability is what makes us so mad.
There's no zero
You see the point?
accountability, dude. Everyone can do something better.
you-
But when you open up and you
No,
yell over another
no,
person
listen,
like
can
you were
I
doing earlier,
speak?
nah, I'm good.
You
See ya. I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one. Not interested.
Just kind of childish. Just honestly kind of childish. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing that I could have done better. And then when he's like, hey, like, listen, like, I'm trying to talk to you. And he's like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. I mean, kind of aggressive, I would say. I feel like it's a little bit immature. I was a little bit surprised by this because I do like Pirate Software a lot, and I didn't really like this behavior too much. Personally, it's not like the biggest deal. Like, I'm not gonna like not watch him anymore. I'm not gonna like hate on him, but I think that his reaction could have been a little bit more like humble. Like, hey, yeah, I probably could have done a little bit better. Like, I made a couple mistakes. That's my bad. But overall, I was not in a very good position. I wasn't like your, savior. That's probably what I would say. Like, there's probably not much more I could have done to help you. And I did my best, and we all make mistakes. My bad. You could say that. And I think honestly, his guilt would have been fine, because even they said, they were like, yeah, we all make mistakes. We just want you to like admit and own up to some of them. And I think that's fine. I think that's fair. But he goes, nah, I'm good. And I feel like that's a little bit immature. An ego bears its teeth. Yeah, it's a little bit egotistical, huh? Even if Pirate is generally right, I think some people can be turned off by his preachy attitude. Yeah, I think that's where most people stand. There have been some people who have sent death threats towards him and like taken this way too far, and I think that's fucking crazy. I think that's absurd. I don't think that anybody should act that way. I think that's completely inappropriate. But to criticize it, I think criticism's fair. I don't play the game. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the right decision would have been, but I think most people are in an agreement that he could have done more. Like, he still had a couple cards left in his hand. It's just a bad day, but I do think that he got really cornered and was just pissed. Yeah, no, like, again, like, I have 2,500 hours in Final Fantasy 14 and I still make mistakes. There's no one who's going to be perfect. But if I make a mistake, I own up to it and I say like, oh, my bad. Like, I wasn't thinking, or I misclicked, or, something. Like, I just go, oh, my bad. The vids on Pirates faking puzzle blind runs is pretty good. Faking what does that even mean? What's that about? Yeah, Ghost, what's that about? That's today's new pirate topic. Faking blind runs in puzzle games. Oh, you're talking about like world record holders that like fake their records? I've seen a lot of that. Like the guy who played like Super Mario 64 while blind, and it turned out to be completely fake. He used a guide and said he did it blind. Oh, yeah. No, I've seen a lot of people do that. Why do so many people fake being blind? Like, why is that? It's kind of fucked up. That's the one thing you shouldn't fake. But yeah, overall, is Pirate Software an evil person that you shouldn't support? No. Did he fuck up? Probably. Did he have an ego about it? Absolutely. I think that's really what it comes down to. Should this be a massive controversy? Controversy? No, not at all. No, not really. But it's still fun to explore, and I liked being able to find the footage. A lot of people are talking about it, but no one's really showing the footage. And I think the footage is kind of like, it's kind of damning, but it's also kind of like, it's a video game, right? Anyways, last slide for today is we have a free game on Steam. If you guys go over to Mini Thief on Steam, you can get it completely for free. You just click add to account and you own it. I've never seen this before, to be honest. I know that like years ago, Steam has given out games for free on like Christmas and stuff. Like, I think they gave out Left 4 Dead once. But yeah, this is completely new. I've never seen this. Gamers can claim Mini Thief for free by going to the store page and clicking add to account. To my knowledge, Steam has never done this. Okay, I pretty much already said this, but Steam has never done free game giveaways in the way that Epic Games does. And some people are questioning if this will become a common thing moving forward. I think it'd be really cool. I like that. I love free stuff. So hopefully we get more. I'll link it in the Discord for you, Ghost. Got it. Pro tip of the day is to make a plan, guys. And here's a picture of Red Dead Redemption 2. He's like, I got a plan. For example, make spreadsheets, flowcharts, storyboards, and writings detailing your plan. Don't let your ideas die in your head. Write it down on a whiteboard if you have to. Whenever you get an idea, try to get it in writing as soon as possible. We generate an incredible amount of ideas every day, but we hardly ever act on them. Just the other day, I was literally taking a shower. I had some shower thoughts, and I was like, I had this great idea for my story that I'm writing for Infinium, and I was like, I gotta get this down right now because I'm gonna forget it. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people do. Like they're like, oh, I'll just remember it. Don't just remember it. Put it down. You should have like a notepad or something. I have my little trusty moleskin notebook right here, and I have tons of ideas that I write in this thing all the time. I like to show it off sometimes because it's literally full of so many like writings. Oh well, it's hard to show it, but look at that. Literally, like the first half of this book is literally full. It's pretty good. Yeah, don't let your ideas die in your head. That is exactly what you missed in my stream on Friday. I just planned the new side project. Ooh, you have a lot of projects, Mo. You're a really busy guy. Speaking of Mo, here's the community highlight of the day. Eevee's Adventure Dev version 0.3. Hell yeah. So Mo has uploaded a new a new version of the Eevee's Adventure game. And we're gonna take a look at it right now. Yes! Let's exit full screen so we can see it. Where did it open? Did it open? Oh, here it is. So as you can see, he's actually got a new menu system. This looks really good. I think he did a fantastic job with all of this. We have a new settings menu. One thing that's really cool is he also added German. Look at this. You can play this game completely in German if you want to. I don't know what any of this means, but I'm sure he does. We got a resolution menu. Can set 2 different resolutions. Full screen button. We have music toggle and volume control. I don't think there's any music yet though, but it's pretty good to have this already. So when you add music, it all works. We do have sound effects though, so we can like turn these down. But we're gonna go back and then we're gonna click play. And as you can see, we don't have a character yet, but he has worked on a lot of the foliage. I did notice that I got a few errors. Not sure what that's in reference to, but it's probably not a big deal. I think there's only one actual bug that I found, and I'll talk about that in a second. And by in a second, I mean when I remember what the bug was. Oh, yeah, I remember. So if we go backwards, we can press E on this. And it opens up this part of the map with such a honestly gross sound effect. I'm sorry, Mo, but that's an icky sound. I don't know where you got that from. Another cool thing is if we plug in a controller, you see that the UI buttons change, which I think is a really cool design. And if we switch back to keyboard and mouse, it switches back. I like that. I think that's a fantastic little detail. And honestly, something that I haven't figured out how to do. I don't know how he did it, but I would love to learn. Not like it's not something I have tried yet, but it is a really cool thing to add to a game. And then here we have the flag, and this will be the end of the match. Cool. So if we go back to the main menu, what is it? Okay, here it is. This is the one bug I found. It's just a spelling error, and I get it, you know, most first language is, I'm assuming, German, so sure doesn't have an H, and it's also capitalized. It should probably just be a lowercase. That's the only thing that I found wrong. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Otherwise, everything else is fantastic. There's a license? What do you have, a law team? What the fuck's going on with the license? Interesting. Apache license? What is this? The jump sound sounds like Sonic underwater. Yeah, this is sick, Mo. Here, let's clear that. It seems like it starts as soon as we start walking. Yeah, there's some sort of error generating when we walk. It seems to function though. Whee! And he does have a life counter up here, which is pretty neat. Sure sounds like sure in German. Fuck. Yeah. I figured. That's so funny. Sure it does, buddy. You didn't have to roast him like that, Stefan. And the license is open source license that is used in... Oh, I see. So when do we take steps to make it into an MMORPG? Jesus Christ. Have you not learned anything from how long it's taken me to make what I've made in Infinium so far? We will be making this for the next 20 years. MMORPGs fail with like 100 people working on them. I couldn't imagine 2 people trying to make one. But yeah, this is sick. I like the foliage. I really like the trees. Did you make these in like Blender yourself? Because they look pretty decent. I like the roots. And the foliage is really interesting. I'm pretty sure the foliage though, the trees are the same as the bushes down here. I think you just reused that. I see through you. One thing I kind of want is like a double jump. I think that would be cool. Like maybe a power up that allows you to double jump. That'd be really cool. Anyways, yeah, pretty good. One thing I've noticed though is you haven't updated the GitHub. I would love to take a look at the project file for this. There's a lot of things that I want to do. One thing I want to do is I want to add a player model for Eevee instead of this little red guy. I think we could get started on a player model. Makes more sense for a cat to have a charge jump. That's a good idea too. Yeah, we could kind of make her more cat-like. It's kind of like, oh, how cute would it be if you hold down the A button and she kind of goes into like, you know when cats do like the little butt wiggle mode? We could do that. That would be so cute. Oh, and the menu works with the controller too. That's great. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this all works. That's crazy. Good job. Good job with the menu system and everything. The controller support's on I almost said on fleek. I don't know what to call it. It's on point. It's on point. So yeah. Good job, Bo. And that concludes our weekly news for today. Hopefully it was entertaining for you guys, and maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you hated it. I don't know. I'm not your dad. Let's refresh. How much money have we spent so far? 8 cents. Okay, not too bad. Our OpenAI Eevee is not costing us too much, so that was my main concern.